Hey guys, I'm the 50s Kid. This is a 2004 BMW X3 and this is going to be the new project car for the channel. As you can see, it's got some paint damage. It's kind of rough on the outside. Don't worry, I'm not going to be doing the paint on this one. I think there's definitely some room in this one for to get a professional paint job done. It also has engine problems. It's got a blown head gasket situation. What happened was the owner tried to fix it himself. He kind of, he realized he was in over his head, so he gave up on it. It ended up at a body shop. I guess the owner of this car is friends with the owner of the body shop, and like several of his cars ended up at this body shop because he had to move or something like that. He couldn't take the cars with him. So the body shop had this car and they sold it because they're a body shop. They can't do an engine rebuild. So we bought the car for very, very little. We bought the car for $1,400 and it should be worth at least $5,000 after it's got a new paint job and everything. So there's quite a bit of room to do stuff on this car, and I'm pretty confident that I can do a rebuild on this engine for very, very, very cheap. So yeah, we'll just start with, the body work. Obviously just, all the clear coats peeling off of there, but the side is actually fine. There's nothing wrong with the side. And the thing I really like about this car is that all of the body panels are really, really nice. I mean, I don't really see any dings. I see maybe one small one right here, and there's another one in the same spot on the other door. But other than that, I mean, it's really, really straight, really nice. It's not like there's a problem with every single panel like there was on the Black Savage. So we just got a little bit of, peeling clear coat there. And then of course up on this right here, and then the whole roof, that's basically all got, all the clear coats peeling off of that. And this panel, that door, and that door, peeling clear coat. So it's quite a bit of paint that is, I guess, needed on this car. But I remember we were talking with the guy at the body shop. My friend Mark was asking him, what if we fix it, and then how much will you charge to paint it? But I cannot remember what they said, what they talked about, but I remember that it was like a doable number. It was possible to do it. So the thing I really like about this car is the interior is pretty darn good for a 2004 car. It's not like, it doesn't smell at all, which is an immediate plus to me. Yeah, I mean, everything is just kind of clean. Everything kind of works, I mean, there's a little bit of dust and dirt on it because it's been sitting for a while, but a car wash is all this thing really needs. The seats are not really torn to crap. They're just a little bit of wear because it's a 2004. But you know what? Overall, the impression you get in this car is that it's pretty clean. A lot of the engine parts were actually sitting in the back here. I just moved them to this back, to the trunk area. So I'm sure that these depressions that left will spring back. Not that big a deal. So yeah, I mean, I would drive this car around. If I fixed this car, I would be happy to drive this thing around. So let me go ahead. I'm gonna pop the hood. I'm gonna show you what's going on under there. By the way, it needs a window regulator. The window's down. We can't put it back up. So that's what I'm going to do here today. I'm going to shoot a video on doing that window regulator. So this is the engine situation, which is, yeah, that guy did not get too far with that job, did he? He must have given up when he saw how difficult it was going to be to get the exhaust manifolds out. That's what I'm assuming. So we have all of the parts. All of the parts are in the trunk. I looked at it before we committed to buy it, because that was one lesson I learned on Black Savage. A lot of the parts were missing because of those freaking tweakers. And I'm thinking, oh yeah, I can get all that stuff at a junkyard. You know what? It ended up adding up as I went back to the junkyard over and over. Just every little thing just really adds up, But this, we have all of the parts for this thing. We've got the intake manifold, we've got the valve cover, we've got everything. It's all in the back. We've even got all the bolts and everything. So I am, you know, I'm not too afraid of this. What I'm looking at, this is fine, you know. Basically, what I'll end up doing is just finishing this head gasket job. I'll pull off the head, and I will. I'm assuming that it's going to need the time certs, because usually, you know, it probably overheated, because they all do, and you know, it probably needs the time certs installed. So, you know, time certs are like 30, 40 bucks or something like that. It's going to need a head gasket that's around $40 to $60. Then we'll just take the head. I don't think that we're going to really need a valve job. I mean, I don't think it's necessary. Unless there's actually something wrong. You know, we all know I can pull out the valves and clean those valves up on the wire wheel, put them back in, they're fine. You know, they're going to seal just fine. So I think with the head, what we'll do is we'll get it pressure tested, we'll get it straightened, you know, we'll get it resurfaced, and I guess we'll get it cleaned. So that, I'm thinking, you know, that should be around 150 bucks, and hopefully the head doesn't have any cracks in it like mine did, right? So that's what I'm thinking there. You know, I'm thinking we can bring this rebuild in for, I don't know, let's say under $300, you know? I'm sure we can do it for that. So that's the situation under here. This is what we're going to be shooting videos on. I'm basically going to be, you know, instead of a big long rebuild where I pull out the engine and pull out the block and, you know, do a full rebuild, this is going to be like, okay, what if you guys were in this situation? You have a blown head gasket. What do you need to do? You know, what is the job for you, you know, the cheapest way to go so that you can just get back on the road. So that is the idea behind this particular rebuild and the series that I'm going to do on this car, but, you know, in this particular engine. And then from there, we'll, you know, I'll examine the car. I haven't had it on jack stands yet. I don't know what's going on underneath. It might need control arms or whatever, you know. So we'll address that situation when we come to it. So the battery on this thing is dead, so I've got my Noco hooked up so we can go ahead and turn some power on here. So as you can see, we've got about 129,000 miles, which is pretty low. You know, that's nice. That's going to help it sell a lot better. Let's pop this trunk here. I'll show you guys. Yeah, we've got all of the parts here. Got the intake manifold, got all of the cowls, the trims, the valve covers down here. We've got the oxygen sensors that they took out. Everything is pretty much here, which is really nice. It's got a 2016 sticker on it, which means that it's about 2 years behind in its registration, which unfortunately is going to cost probably about 500 bucks. And this tire is flat. I don't know if if it would be able to hold air at all. We're gonna need new tires, you know, but we'll get some middle of the road tires for this thing. Something to at least help it sell. Hope maybe we can get some takeoffs like we did on the Black Savage, man. We got tires for the Black Savage for 50 bucks that are good. So, or, you know, at least good enough to get it sold. So maybe we can do some kind of situation with that on this one. You know, brake rotors, they're going to look rusted when they've been sitting for a while, but, you know, they're not all grooved at all. So we'll just drive it for a little bit, and the rust should kind of come off. I don't know what the situation will be like with the brakes. We might need to do them after all. Who knows? But yeah, that's the whole situation with this car. It's honestly, it's not that bad, you know? The engine situation, if we just get the car running, then all it needs is paint. That's the only thing it really probably needs. It might need brakes, but it, you know, just needs tires and stuff. So not too bad, you know, it's definitely doable. It's going to be a nice little project, and I'm hoping that, you know, a couple other things are wrong with it. Maybe the transfer case problem. There's like a little plastic gear inside that kind of goes bad. So maybe maybe that is a problem on this car, and we can go ahead and fix that and get a video on that. That'd be really nice. I'd like to get some X3 specific videos done. Yeah, it should be an interesting project. I don't think it's going to take all that long. You know, it's just an engine rebuild. That it should actually go pretty quick. And then, you know, we'll kind of get it up and running and driving. We'll see what else it needs. We'll get it over to the paint shop. We'll see what that situation is like. And yeah, hopefully we'll get some really good videos out of this. And so this is going to be the next project. And then after that, we're looking for an E90. That's what's going to come next, because I know a lot of you guys really want to see that. That's where we need to go with the channel. So we'll get to that next, but we're just going to take care of this one first. Anyway, hope you guys like the project. Should be interesting. Stay tuned. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to see more. I'm the 50s Kid. Thanks a lot for watching.